thanks to the support as a channel member, Ole Gunnar Kvam. Whoa, what's all this? A weekend Wembley video? Yeah, that's right. I'm keeping you on your toes. We did the Birmingham video at the start of the week, so you'd only had 4 this week, so I figured I'd spoil you with another one. Also worth noting, there's something that's not Wembley coming out on Monday, so this is part spoiling you for last week, part spoiling you ahead of that, because I know the Wembley loyalists will be grumpy again, and part just making sure you got your 5 videos this week. Quit your moaning. There'll be some non-Wembley videos sometimes, but as long as I deliver you 5 a week, no grounds for moaning. And we're in the National League, so I didn't want to wait till Monday anyway. Hello and welcome to part 79 of Wembley to Wembley. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have our first 2 matches ever in the National League. We're away against Blyth Spartans and at home against York. If you missed the transfer special, you've missed us actually put together a decent side, including signing a real boy. Might be the last real boy we sign in the entire save, but our wage budget has just about doubled. I mean, it is worth providing the context that 3 years ago, that's roughly what our wage budget was. So although it's roughly doubled from last year, it's still not very high for this level of football. We're still showing as insecure financially. I just don't even understand why at this point. I just feel like it's bugged. How am I struggling? Highly disappointed at my apparent disregard of the club's finances, but they're happy that I'm on course to be within wage budget because we're so close. What more could I do? Our balance is positive. Even our scouting budget is temporarily positive. What more could I do? Goodness me, we could go on a cup run. We'll give it a good try. But this is the team that we're putting out there for the game against Blyth. Blyth, by the way, are expected to finish lower part of mid-table. We're expected to be rock bottom with bells on. So anything other than a thumping today will be considered a good result on our part. And we have got some new boys involved to the point where our team cohesion, our club atmosphere, not exactly where we'd want it to be going into a new season off the back of a promotion. We've kind of negated all of the promotion feel good around the club by signing an entirely new defence. So it's new boy Parini in goal, a completely new look back three of Robinson, McCormick and Wiles, new left back Damon alongside existing right back Hayball, kind of one new guy in midfield, Matthews, alongside Scowen and Bolin, who were there last year. And then McLennan, who's been our top scorer for the last 2 years, alongside new boy Larkin up front. Let's get this team submitted. McLennan, I'm not sure how long he's going to be a starter for. He needs to start the season well. We've got previous in this save of players not taking a step up when we make a promotion. I am worried for McLennan. He's showing as only a 1.5 star player following the promotion. So we have got Bonis, the new boy, sat down there on the bench, who may well form a partnership with Larkin. I'm kind of relying on those two forming a partnership if we're going to score any goals this year, because last season we very much set out with this system, got the ball out to the wing backs, whipping the crosses in to better strikers, arguably, with Vaughan Thorne in there. Plus we have the aerial threat from the set pieces of all the giants. We don't have any giants anymore. The one upgrade I would say we've had is at wing back. We've got a proper left wing back now to balance out Hayball at right wing back, but we're asking those wing backs to do an awful lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to creating stuff for these strikers. There's not much coming out of that midfield, and it's going to be interesting to see how it develops. I'm not sure how long we're going to be able to stick with this system for. I think it was very much a system that was a means to an end and a creation of circumstance because we happened across a load of big defenders and a good right wing back. Whereas now that same good right wing back could be just as good on the right wing or at right back, and the centre backs much less exciting from an attacking perspective than they were previously. They may well be able to defend a lot better, and this might be just what we need to make ourselves difficult to beat in this league. But as you can see straight off the bat, my fears potentially coming true. We've created nothing in that first half, and this is my worry with this system. Without that set piece threat, we really might struggle. Interesting that we're now in the same league as Northampton, which I do find adorable. Bless their little cotton socks. How rubbish are they? As a Peterborough fan, delighted to see them in non-league where they belong. But Blyth are on the attack. Blyth, I'll give you my Blyth piece of trivia that I always give when I talk about Blyth. They're the non-league team I've seen live more times than any other. I've never gone specifically to see Blyth, but I've seen Blyth play against Boston, Kings Lynn, Nuneaton, and I think Leamington. I'm sure there's 4 times I've just happened across seeing Blyth Spartans play through no deliberate effort on my part. They just always seem to turn up when I'm going to a non-league match. It's like they're following me around. So one day I should probably do a Blyth Spartans save to give them their correct recognition as a team that I've seen play so many times. But for today, hopefully they'll just let me beat them as a little way to make me feel better about the fact we've been promoted and we haven't been able to sign Vaughan Thorne, and it makes me sad. Oh my word, they ripped through us there, and that was a terrible finish. We have got away with one there because they just completely missed. How do you feel, by the way, about our goalkeeper having a mohawk? I, for one, am delighted by it, but it might suggest that he's potentially got a little bit of eccentricity about him, which a little bit of eccentricity in a goalkeeper, not necessarily a bad thing. If he's got too much, though, could be a recipe for disaster. We'll see how he gets on as the season goes on. He's here because Jacob wanted too much money, so we didn't have much option other than to replace him, even though he is our best ever goalkeeper. Good work from Scowen coming across to cover at left wing back. Larkin trying to win the flick on, but we're going to miss Ennis. Niall Ennis is now retired, and we are going to miss that ability to win the ball in the air, to hold the ball up. But Larkin is in here, and he's hit the crossbar. Oh, he's not going to get many chances. We need him to be clinical when he does get them. We can't have him missing stuff like that, because we are not going to get many opportunities in a match to score a goal. And yeah, that's troublesome. Right, corner comes in. We've dealt with it, sort of. We hadn't dealt with it at all, but we've got away with it. And once again, we managed to valiantly defend. Blyth has had 8 corners. We've only had 1. I'm already missing playing set. Do we just turn play for set pieces on and see how these boys get on? Because we're not creating anything any other way. How do I do it? I can't remember the buttons. It's in here, isn't it? Play for set pieces. Let's just turn it back on. No, don't discard changes. I thought I'd already clicked confirm. There we go. I want to see if we're any good at the set pieces. That's got to be offside, referee. Referee? Linesman? Anybody? No? Well, a Wigan down in non-league. Oh, we are never going to get promoted. Altrincham, Port Vale, Chester, Tranmere, Wigan. There's some massive teams, and Northampton in this league. How on earth are we supposed to get promoted out of a division like this? We're in a different land of giants to the ones we were in last year. Last year we had all the giants. This year we're surrounded by them. This is going to be terrible. I genuinely might be the first relegation of the save coming up, because now I've seen some of the teams that are in this league. I am terrified. We'll have a look in a second how our wage budget compares to some of this lot as well. Because I mean, someone like Wigan or Port Vale, they're going to have so much more money than we could ever dream to have. I imagine most teams at this league are full time. We're part-time with a much smaller squad. This does not bode well at all. Right, let's, we made a couple of changes. New boy Hartman's coming on at left back. Can we somehow grab an equaliser? I'd be delighted if we could come away with a point from this game. Young picks the ball up with space to run into, and Young's hit the post. That's 2 of them have hit the post. I tell you what, we've had chances. Hartman plays it across. There's nobody there. I think he's red-green colourblind like I am, because it got absolutely nowhere near one of our boys. And then for my final change, I think we take off McLennan, bring on new boy Bonis to hopefully link up the play a little bit better. And I want him to drop deep, pick up the ball and create chances for Larkin, although we've already seen Larkin miss a chance. Oh, it's a shenanigans corner, and luckily they're not able to finish it off. But we are struggling here, boys and girls. Let's demand more. Harini with a very odd goal kick that gets absolutely nowhere near any of our players, but Hartman does well to win the ball back. And now Robinson to Young, and Robinson again, and Hartman now with space to run into. And if he can find a red shirt, he can. It's bowling. He's got the overlap from Hayball, who slides it across to Larkin, and he's missed again. The commentary in game said it looks easier to score. Have we signed a dud to be our new centre forward? Because that's a disaster if we have. I have no idea. If Larkin doesn't score, I have no idea where our goals are going to come from this year. But he has missed 2 big chances today. And as a newly promoted team playing against a team expected to finish in the bottom half, we have not looked good there today. This is the weakest we've looked after a promotion. Who do we play next? York. Oh, my word. Right. Team detailed is what I want here. If we have a look at salaries. So, top salary in the league, Altrincham, interestingly, at nearly £2 million a year. Lots of teams above £1 million. We are paying £128,000 a year in salaries. And we're supposed to compete. If we get relegated this year, not my fault. Refuse to take responsibility for that. Then we're on close to half the next highest. Well, no changes for the York game because very similar to last season. We don't really have the players to bring in and change things around. We are hoping to bring in some loans. Do we have a transfer deadline day at this level? I don't know where I would find that out. There is no transfer deadline. Well, there is, but it's not until March, so we don't have to worry about transfer window. So we can take our time and bring in the right loans. Because, like I say, at the moment, they're not so great. I mean, this guy, he's from Cambridge, but do we hold that against him? He's better than anyone else we've got as a midfielder. If we can get him for free, he's probably someone to bring in, isn't he? Can we get that taken out? We cannot. Fine, you can play as a playmaker then. What do I care? Just changes our system entirely. Oh, and I tell you what, he's a forward. Only sign as a last resort. That's not ideal. So maybe we don't get him. But there's a few starting to come in, but they're still pretty slim picking. So we'll keep working on that. In the meantime, let's see how we get on against York. How good are York? York are mid-table. They got relegated from League Two last year. Terrific. Let's see how we get on against a team that were in League Two last year. I'm sure we'll be fine. If we come out of this with any kind of positive result, big thumbs all round, and maybe it won't be quite as miserable a season as I'm expecting it to be. But yeah, I think this is very much going to be a season of taking our medicine. And I genuinely, I don't know how we move on to the next level. We just need to bring in some excellent loans and use them to bounce us up another division and hope that going full time doesn't financially ruin us. It'll be fine. How soon until we'll get that Premier League money? We can't be far from that now. We've been promoted so many times. Where's this Premier League money? I was told if I got promoted this many times, we'd be rich. We just seem to be getting poor. The better we do, the poorer we get. This can't be how it works. Why will nobody become a Wembley fan? Right, Scowen is trying to get a counter-attack going there. Why do we not see how that develops? We had a guy stood there on the halfway line with no defenders near him. Scowen just had to release him. If that's Larkin, he's quick enough to get that counter-attack going. I mean, he probably missed. We saw that in the last match. But I would have at least liked to have seen it. A set piece. Oh, do you remember them? It's headed over from McCormick, but at least we saw one. That's promising. We're not playing for set pieces again. I am wondering, do we turn it back on? I need to have a ponder. I don't know. I need to see us actually score a few. Once I see that we're still quite good at it, then I might turn it back on. But until then, it seems wasteful playing for set pieces if then when we get them, we're not very good at them. And so far, we've not really given any indication that we're going to be any good at set pieces. So seems silly to focus on doing something that we're not yet very good at. Hopefully we'll get better. But let's offer a little bit of encouragement. It's not been a terrible start. I mean, we've created a couple of chances. We're not really getting much of the ball, and York are obviously the better team, but we knew going in that York were obviously the better team. So we're not too stressed about that. If we can get a point out of this, we'll be delighted. I can't believe we're in a league with teams like Tranmere knocking around. This seems very unfair, but it does make me wonder what kind of teams must be in League Two with the amount of bigger teams that you would expect to be in League Two knocking around down here in the National League. Often when you start with these modded databases that go very deep in the structure, you do get some strange things happen even further up the leagues. And I am intrigued to see League Two, League One, even the Championship when we get there. We might not be the only unexpected team making it to those levels. Remember, we're more than 10 years deep in this save now. So there's going to be some teams moving around. How long until we stumble across our first really big team? It's a set piece. It's Wiles, and he heads over. This is why we're not playing for them. we're not very good at them when we get them. Right, Damon, charging down the left-hand side, finds the cross, looking for McLennan, who causes hassle with the goalkeeper, but doesn't actually get near the ball. Comes out to Habel. Larkin, is in the middle, and we ended up going for McLennan, and his shot hits the base of the post. What a difference it could have made to our season if McLennan finds a way to squeeze that past the goalkeeper. We're going to take him off and bring on Bonis again. We're going to take off Scowen and bring on Young. And other than that, we're going to leave things as they are. Habel with the cross again, looking for Larkin, and he's headed it up in the air. He's not making the immediate impact that Vaughan Thorne made last year. Now, Vaughan Thorne did have the advantage of having an incredible name, which did make me immediately like him more. But Larkin is not making me fall in love with him. Let's bring Hartman on. And they're going to score here, aren't they? Big test of Perini. It's going there. Stop it going past you. Go and stand there, because that's where the ball's going. Please don't let it go in. We don't want to be the team that narrowly loses 1-0 quite often. We may... if it goes over, I mean, we'll take a point. We're very much up for a point. If we can hold on, a point would be lovely. If we can go up the other end and nab a winner, that'd be even lovelier. Morecambe are beating Wigan. So Wigan might not be as good as I thought they would be. I'd noticed they were only like halfway down the salary chart. But I think we are going to get our first point in the National League here, unless something terrible happens right at the end. There's 15 seconds left. It's with Perini for a goal kick. Just kick it really far. Don't try and do anything clever here. Oh, God, he's tried to do something clever. He's gone for Habel. He's missed him. And they're now coming back at us. They've got a man over. This is hideous. Well, I don't know how we've got away with that. It's the last kick of the game. It would have been heartbreaking if it had gone in. But we do have our first point in the National League. First of many, eh? We hope. Oh, God, find me some loans. Right. Hopefully that guy comes in. There was someone else that my director of football, I think, was trying to bring in on loan as well. Oh, he's actually a permanent guy. Do we want this guy? Maybe we do. We could do with a striker, though. If anyone could find me a striker, that'd be super. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.